Peace. This is the Ask Your Old Head podcast with Justice Raji. Let's get into the science. Our study material for today, we're going to go into the works of Brother Naeem Akbar, Dr. Naeem Akbar. If you've done any cursory research into black psychology, black men specifically, and brothers, folks who've done work and study and how in cultivating a better sense of self with black men. If you ain't come across Naeem Akbar, I'm gonna say you probably ain't really looked that hard. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was my age I came into it. He was doing this thing bigger or something. It was easier to find. But we're gonna go into a little piece out of Know Thyself, which is a piece by Naeem Akbar with forward by Dr. Asa G. Hilliard. Probably I'll have this in the show notes when this show on the blog on askyourwholehead.com. So you can, maybe you can hit the Amazon, make a purchase for yourself or for someone else, and, get a little something to ask your old head, and you get a whole lot more for yourself. But I'm going to pull one thing out of here just today, and we're going to come back to some of these texts every episode. We probably going to have a little bit where we're going to go into a text or a piece as one to grow on. And the specific concept I want to talk about is the transmission of a legacy of competence, right? See, this is an important concept for you to understand because that's why I'm doing this, right? Is that I've been fortunate to be the beneficiary of relationships with people that let me know for almost as far as I can remember that I come from good people, right? That I come from great people. That I come from people that are respected. I come from people who are stand-up folks. I come from some live motivators, some people that's out here in the world. I'm talking about physical family. And then also, as they say in the concept of fictive kin, again, if you're dealing with studying Afrocentric conscience, black consciousness, somebody should have told you about the fictive kin reality in terms of our communities. And I've benefited from those relationships, and I've benefited from having in my mind the idea that I come from strong people. I come from good people. I come from great people. I come from people that had the potential to do whatever they wish. I also come from people that have had to struggle. Although sometimes we fall, we recover, we get back on the horse, what have you. We pull up our bootstraps, as my conservative brothers would like to say. We buckle them shoes, pull our pants up, do what we need to do, put our work gloves on and get dirty with it. But the transmission of a legacy of competence is a really important concept, right? Now, Dr. Naeem, Brother Akbar, he goes into it, and I'm going to go right from the text. Every people have accomplished tremendous feats in the advancement of knowledge, right? So this is important for you to grasp, right? Because if you are going to have a more healthier sense of self, you cannot then allow that your sense of greatness comes at the expense of somebody else, right? Because you do that, you just repeating the same system that we existing in, right? I can only be great because you ain't shit. This is not the way that that ain't our culture. That ain't our way. And also that's not the way that you going to be able to add on a walk with anybody in the world. If you want to be able to walk with all walks of life, you're going to need to be able to, quite frankly, not be an asshole as it pertains to other people's history, right? So you can't get into this, them people, they did this, or them people, they ain't shit. And we was, it ain't great. You're going to find the limitation. You're going to hit the wall if in your articulation of being fantastic and great as a black man or black woman, other person, Asian, various Asian communities, my brother's Latino community, or for my European folks especially. If you go and get in tune with your history, especially as it relates to colonialism and various things, to recognize that there's certain concepts that you believe about yourself that have been predicated on the idea that you had to reinforce that you were better than those people to justify the behavior that was allowed to go on in regards to those people. And we'll get into who those people are another day, right? So, Brother Akbar gets into it differently, a little deeper, in understanding that, like I said, everyone is contributed to the advancement of knowledge. So every culture on the planet has done something that has contributed to the advancement of humans finding a way to solve the problem of survival on a planet, where you have multiple forces that are operating for their own survival. So everything on Earth is operating for it to continue to survive. Microbes, birds, wild, predators, prey, trees, grass. They may sometimes, your wishes and needs may line up, but they're in it for themselves too. Doesn't mean that they're, spiteful or anything else, or, we can get into that another time. So, just add on a little more, another little quote from the piece is, these breakthroughs are crucial because they teach each new generation not only what has already been mastered and understood, so they begin at the top of the accumulated knowledge, but even more importantly, it teaches them that they are specific recipients of this legacy of learning, right? So for our community, the whole science, within the experience of slavery, of breaking you from your language, breaking you from your history, and in many ways trying to make you as much as possible a vessel. As Dr. Joy DeGruy would talk about the concept of vacant esteem. So it's not even low self-esteem. You have no esteem. You have no concept of your own value beyond maybe what you can do in this moment, or maybe your physical power or something. You have very limited context to see yourself as great. And then for us, even the double down is then painting everything that comes out of our communities in a negative light, right? And we sometimes, we fall victim, to the poison pill, and we'll repeat that pattern, and only can find the energy and strength to talk about what we ain't doing right or what ain't going good, and can't stand on and be just cool with saying like, yeah, like, stuff was terrible, but my family stick together. Pops always looked out. These persons did these things, right? So it is very important for our young people, old, everybody is involved, that the legacy of competence, that the strengths that folks have, that they are acknowledged, that they are reinforced, that they are spoken of, they are portrayed in creative means, they are portrayed in art and music, movies, that you recognize the skills that are out there, so that you do not, so that you can, you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror, or whatever these other messages you're getting about yourself, in any sense, you be like, yeah, that's just a rap song about some tomfoolery. Them dudes is tripping. It got a fresh beat though, but that ain't setting the tone for how I see myself, especially if this is speaking to the context of that song being negative. Or if, you happen to turn on a news station and they just bombarding you with images of brown people, black and brown people committing, crimes, especially heinous crimes. And then, that like, yo, that's real. Them people did that. That's on them. That's not all that looks like me in the world. And it's an important concept, because he goes in this little section about it, is saying how everything, and some of y'all probably, if you go back and do a little, self-reflection on your education and how it came down, that everything, even the terrible things that have happened in European history, especially if you're living in North America, in American history, is reframed in the context of not being necessarily bad. You know what I'm saying? George Washington, he could never tell a lie. He chopped down his Pop's cherry tree. He ain't supposed to chop down the tree, right? He go chop down Pop's cherry tree, and the whole thing is a myth. So that, in case you don't know, that this never happened. However, the idea that you would further a piece of mythology to bolster something terrible, right? Something that was other than right and exact, under the guise that he did the right thing, right? He's a stand-up guy. He couldn't tell a lie. You know what I'm saying? This is imbuing the person that identifies with that man with the idea that no matter what crazy stuff I do, I'm still cool. That's real. So you have to have the opportunity to see that legacy of competence, and that is one of the responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? If you's a proper old head, if you out here looking out, supporting younger folks, right, is showing them competence, showing them how to, you know what I'm saying, from the high level to the low level, right? So from the high level, showing them how to, develop a business plan or do some other, technical trade skills, specialty skills within the medical field, maybe medical transcription or, arts, creative, whatever, higher level stuff. On a low level, showing them how to like, yo, you want to turn up this weekend? You gonna have a little, you have a party? You gonna have a get down? All right, cool. Like, here's some things for you to think about, man. So you have your get down on Saturday, man, but don't nobody get shot up. Don't nobody end up, losing their job on Monday because they went so wild on Saturday, right? That's your job as an old head. You are there to transmit knowledge. You're there to help somebody else, make wise and better decisions. You know what I'm saying? So legacy of competence, we're gonna come back to that, and that's gonna be a regular theme. Because also a part of that is helping you see, maybe all the people you don't know about, in our community's history that's out there that ain't hiding. You just ain't nobody tell you. You know what I'm saying? Or you might just be overlooking, you playing him. You like, oh, he a clown. He go to work at the whatever, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? That man might have put 5 people through college. He might have helped somebody start a business. You know what I'm saying? That's his, they have taken care of, may have done the same in those economic endeavors, but also may have done like, yo, she took care of that lady's, them sister. When they family got in some stuff, she took care of them kids. When this happened with that family, she was there at the services. When this happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of stuff goes on all the time in people's communities. And folks just play it to the left like it ain't valuable, like it ain't real. So, we deep in the ocean on it. However, like I said, legacy of competence, a key concept of being a proper old head, key responsibility to everybody who has anybody that ever looks up to them or comes to them for guidance is that you make sure you articulate that, you come from strength. You come from, slavery was real, real deal, Holyfield and all that, but we survived that. Survived. It's not a question, right? It's not like a rumor of survival. It's a real deal. Like, yo, survived that. You know what I mean? Got through that. You know what I mean? And the folks who put that on us were so terrified at how fast we had begun to recover once the restrictions were starting to be removed that they had to double down on their tomfoolery, which we'll get into the whole Jim Crow era and all that post-Reconstruction world, as some folks like to call it, the nadir, you know what I mean, where race concepts in America actually got worse after Reconstruction. But that's for another day, another session. So, there it is. Ask Your Old Head. Peace. Thank you for listening to Ask Your Old Head, episode number 1 with Justice Raji. We will have more episodes for you in the near future. Till next time we meet, travel safely and be at peace. Peace.